Good afternoon. We begin 13 News at 4 o'clock with breaking news in downtown Indianapolis.
IMPD shut down Market Street in front of the City County building. Chase Howe just got to the scene a few minutes ago. Chase, can you tell us what's happening here right now? What kind of investigation is ongoing?
Hey, Felicia, we still haven't heard from IMPD, but I want to make something really clear. There doesn't seem to be any immediate threat to the area, and it seems like the situation has been resolved. But as you can see behind me, the main focus of the investigation, or looking into this suspicious vehicle that police say, has been focused on that black semi-truck, which is parked on Market between Alabama and Delaware. Now, within the last 10 minutes, I'd say they probably have cleared up majority of the scene, because at one point, Wabash between, Alabama between Wabash and Washington was closed down. But as you can see, people are driving right now up and down the area. No, there's no real major thoroughways closed down right now, but you're still asked to avoid the area as this investigation seems to still be going on. But again, I want to reiterate to everybody, there doesn't seem to be any immediate threat to the area, and it seems as if this situation is being resolved. They actually sent away a tow truck that was here to what seemed to be take that semi-truck out of the parking spot that's here on Market Street. But again, want to reiterate so no one at home freaks out. You know, this doesn't seem to be any immediate threat to the area, guys.
Okay, and Chase, I just want to double check. You're not getting any inkling of any a violent incident that has occurred or a car accident. You just really don't know right now.
Correct, right. So I have reached out to IMPD to see what was going on, why this vehicle was called suspicious. I mean, when I was driving here around 2 p.m., I did think it was weird that a semi-truck was parked in front of this City County building, because it was kind of obstructing one of the lanes to get up and down Market Street. But again, no word on why this vehicle was suspicious, no clue where the driver is. But again, I have reached out to IMPD to find out more information about what caused this vehicle to be suspicious.
Okay, and again, I know we wanted to cover it because of the location and the traffic implications of it, but still working to learn information. I know it's really early. Thank you, Chase. We'll be standing by and we'll be on top of this breaking news. We'll bring you any more updates on air as well as our mobile app.
All right, 4:02, let's talk about the weather. It is cold out there. Bundle up, crank up the heat. It is expected to drop temperature-wise even more. Here's a live look outside right now at this hour, and single-digit temperatures with more snows headed our way. Meteorologist Sean Ash joins us here. He is tracking today's weather impact.
Yeah, you know, if we had about 50 more degrees, that shot, it would be glorious. It also would be a different season,
that is a
wouldn't
big
it?
gap.
Yeah, I'll take the sun any way I can get it.
Yeah,
any
you
day.
know, it's very deceiving, because yesterday we were in the middle 30s, and today that wind probably grabs your attention just a little bit. So let's talk about the temps with the sunshine that we have. You can see plenty of blue sky here across central Indiana. I got to take you back to yesterday. Daytime highs in the 35 to near 40 degree range. Okay, so that was yesterday. Here are the current numbers. We're in the teens and lower 20s. But when you take that westerly wind and factor it in, wind chill values in the single digits. So if you're doing the math at home, the feels like is about 30 to 35 degrees colder here, despite the fact we have plenty of sunshine. So we had the Arctic front. It's the first of several installments of Arctic air over the next 7 to 10 days. West to southwest now, sustained at almost 20 miles per hour. That's why it feels like a little stinger out there, and it's going to stay that way. These are forecast wind chills for tomorrow, staying in the single digits. More importantly, temperatures are going to be in the lower to middle teens. Remember that. So here's all of our snowpack from the storm and the system that we had Friday. Here comes the next round. It will be light but impactful. Okay, we're going to walk through Tuesday on the snow, how much to expect, and we've got even colder days ahead of us in the 7-day forecast. All of that in a few minutes.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. Now at 4 o'clock, a Texas man is charged with stalking Fever star Caitlin Clark. That man was arrested this weekend right here in Indianapolis.
Our Samantha Johnson is reading over the new arrest documents, and she's downtown with the disturbing details.
Caitlin
Caitlin Clark told investigators over the weekend she was very concerned for her safety. She even altered her public schedule and changed the way she moved around town. All this after police say Michael Lewis of Texas sent her numerous threats and sexually explicit messages on social media. He's now charged with stalking, a level 5 felony, after investigators say recent messages came from an IP address here in Indianapolis.
That made everybody certainly understand the urgency of the situation.
Prosecutor Ryan Mears and investigators say Lewis allegedly sent messages to Clark on X saying things like, quote, "I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting behind the bench. I won't be able to wear your hoodie. Won't look good in court. And been driving around your house 3 times a day, but don't call the law just yet." Investigators tracked the IP address to the Hilton Garden Hotel on Market Street, more than 800 miles from Lewis's home. On January 8th, Metro Police went to Lewis's hotel room and asked him about the messages to Clark. Lewis told them it was, quote, "an imagination fantasy type thing." He claimed it was a joke. But the messages to Clark continued, according to investigators. Lewis was arrested and booked into the Marion County Jail on Sunday.
There is a 22-year-old young person here who has been profoundly impacted by what is being said. And I think hopefully it also highlights that there are consequences to what people say online.
A level 5 felony, by the way, carries a sentence of up to 6 years and a fine of up to $10,000. Lewis is expected to make his first appearance in Marion County Court Tuesday morning at 9. In Indianapolis, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
And Sam reached out to the Fever for a comment today. We have yet to hear back, but we'll let you know as soon as we do.
And this does raise some questions about personal security, personal safety, which is why we brought in retired Lawrence Police Chief Gary Woodruff here to help us analyze this situation. And Gary, thank you so much for being here. How does law enforcement typically handle a situation like this?
Well, something we take very serious, whether it's a celebrity, a local celebrity person, a national celebrity person, or whether it's somebody involved in a domestic situation. Something we take very, very serious, and we investigate immediately, obviously, as authorities did in this case, and leveraged whatever resources are needed from federal, state, or local resources to resolve the matter, make sure that the individual being threatened is safe, and the person responsible for doing that is brought into custody and answer to their behavior.
You know, this stalking of a celebrity of sorts is something we think about in LA or in New York or other places. We don't think about that happening here in Indianapolis. Do you feel like in Indianapolis, even we know she has her own security detail, that maybe our antenna is down a little bit about the dangers of celebrities going out and walking out in public?
I know for us in the security side of it, and people like me who have provided this type of service to individuals, is our radar is not down at all. Our antenna is not down at all. Matter of fact, it's very much up. And a professional athlete like Caitlin Clark is going to be very sensitized to matters such as this. I want to make sure we're clear about this, though. No matter what celebrity status a person may attain, they have every right to go about living their lives the way they want to live their lives, free of this type of harassment and this type of behavior that somebody exhibits. And they need to be held accountable. But the person, a celebrity athlete or just your everyday person, has every right to live their lives the way they want to. And hopefully we are here to help ensure that as public safety officials and as personal protection professionals.
A lot of times they talk about getting a restraining order, and some people look at that as just a piece of paper. What would be your advice to the everyday person?
Yeah, go ahead and get that piece of paper, because if nothing else, it puts the person on notice that they do violate. It allows law enforcement to make an immediate custodial arrest. In that case, if they do violate those court orders, they're in violation of a court order. And if probable cause exists, an immediate arrest can be made. So it helps expedite that process and gives the protectee, the protected person, they're sending a clear message: I do not want to be bothered. This is not welcome.
And in order to do that, do you need an attorney, or can you just do that through police? I mean, it just sounds like a lot of words and a lot of red tape and maybe a lot of cost for somebody who's already reeling in fear.
Absolutely. So first step is to make a police report, let a police officer evaluate. Law enforcement does not necessarily provide protective orders. That has to go through a court. So a person can go to, here in Indianapolis, go to downtown Indianapolis, go to a specific court in downtown Indianapolis, and they can apply for that themselves. Some will work with an attorney. Also, you can contact local service providers that will assist you through that process, like the Beacon of Hope, like the Julian Center. There are great people in both of those professions that will help guide a person through the process. It can be frustrating, it can be daunting, but again, to get those law enforcement professionals involved and then to follow that up with action of your own, that can seem daunting, but it can help protect you in the long run.
You know, this is making news now because of Caitlin's celebrity status, but how common is this? Does this happen all the time?
Sadly, it does happen. It does happen more than it should, but it's very unusual. It's somewhat unusual. I wouldn't say very unusual. It's somewhat unusual when it happens to a celebrity. It's not unheard of, certainly.
Okay.
People acquire a unusual fixation, an unhealthy fixation on some public people, and again, people of prominence should be able to go about their living their lives free of this.
Oh, excuse me. This is Gary Woodruff, retired Lawrence Police Chief, reminding us all that you have a right to private enjoyment, you have a right to privacy, and of course your safety. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.